Alright, y'all, so we here for another boring ass episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10, episode 3. Let's start talking about Cynthia and her date with the guy named Will. She met him at, her birthday party, and she talks about how she's not really looking for a serious relationship right now and how she just wants to have fun. And I agree with that because, like I told you guys before, she just got a divorce. She don't need to be in nothing serious right now. But this guy is more up her alley as far as like in age because he's 41, whereas we remember the Norbit with the swag looking guy that she was on the date with. He was only 29. So yeah, this guy is more up her alley as far as age is concerned. And he's talking about how he's never been married before, but he was engaged at one point, but it didn't work out. And he had his daughter at 30. And so she's like, "Oh, well, can I see a picture of your daughter?" And he was like, "Yeah, I would show you, but I don't bring my phone on dates." And she was, real impressed with that, and I was kind of impressed too. Because you guys know in this day and age, everybody has their phone joint to their hip. So for him to not have the phone on the date, I was like, okay, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, Cynthia, you might want to watch him, take precaution. Because he might be one of them ones to, might talk a real good game and end up finessing the fuck out your ass. So, yeah, but he seems cool for right now, though. But, anyways, let's move on and let's see who I want to talk about. Let's talk about Candy. And the Candy Coda clique. So they have a meeting, and they're supposed to be having a meeting about the restaurant, but the conversation kind of goes into other things and other people. So I think Candy was talking about how she wanted to have like a GM for her restaurant, but she don't really know who to trust at this point after the whole situation that happened with Johnny last year and the stunt that he tried to pull. Um, yeah, I remember that whole situation. So, anyways, Carmen, she's not going to really be Candy's personal assistant like that no more because she wants to open up a business of her own, an insurance business. So, then they get into the conversation about how things are going with Candy and Escape. And she talks about all the problems that they're having, and I haven't watched their show or little docu series or whatever you want to call it. I have seen people review it, and yeah, it definitely seems like it's still a lot of problems there. And I watched the episode, the Watch What Happens Live episode from last week when they were up there. A lot of tension, a lot of tension. It seemed like it's still a lot of unresolved issues. So I hope they do get it together for their fans' sake. People buying tickets to their shows and all of this is going on, this tension and everything. So yeah, I hope that they can just pull it together and do what they got to do what they have to do for their fans. So then, Don Juan starts to compare her problems that she has with Escape to the problems that her and the ladies on the show be having. So Candy starts to talk about Shamia's bridal shower, and Don Juan was like, "Oh, was Kenya there and everything?" And she was like, "No, she wasn't there." And Don is like, "So she really did get married and everything?" And Candy is like, "Yeah, I'm still shocked that she didn't even tell me, and we supposed to be friends and da da." And I'm just like, Candy, get over it. Like, it's a done deal. Like, I mean, what you want her to do at this point? Ain't no sense to keep on talking about it when it doesn't happen already. So yeah, but anyways, then they start to talk about Portia, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't want Candy and her Candy Coda clique to be talking about Portia this whole season, and and being shady and all this other stuff this whole season, because Portia ain't really been talking about Candy, and if she do talk about Candy, as at least as of right now, it hasn't been like nothing bad. So yeah, Candy, I kind of want y'all to stop talking about Portia. Find some other stuff to talk about. But anyway, so she was pretty much well, her and Carmen was pretty much telling Todd and Don Juan about how, Portia claimed that she couldn't go to the wedding because the plane tickets cost too much, and blase, and, Carmen, and how Carmen was mocking Portia, talking about how she always got a doctor's note and this, that, and the third. And yeah, they were just being really shady while they was talking about Portia. But yeah, that was that with them. Then we get, speaking of Portia, we get her and Lauren, and they're meeting up with Portia's business consultant named Eric, and also this real estate agent dude. So she's talking about how she always wanted to open up a hair salon, and I'm like, since when? Like, long as she been on this show, like, I'm just saying. But anyways, Eric is telling her, well, okay, there's a lot of salons in Atlanta. What's gonna make yours different from everybody else's? And Portia gives some bullshit ass answer talking about because it's gonna be my salon. And I'm like, so you think because your name is gonna be on it because you Portia Williams, that's gonna make your salon different from everybody else? It's like, no, girl, I'm gonna need for you to come up with a better reasoning than that, okay? A better presentation than that. So I mean, just throughout this whole conversation, you could tell Portia didn't really put a lot of thought into this shit. She's saying how she would pay 10,000 for rent, and I'm like, so you got 10,000 for rent, something that you're going to have to pay every month, but you don't have 10,000 to get on the plane to go to your best friend's wedding, which is a one-time thing. Okay, Portia. See, this is why I feel like she full of shit when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? And she also trying to use her, medical condition as an excuse. But hey, but anyway, so Lauren is, kind of saying, I think we should go a little bit smaller on the rent. The real estate agent is asking her, well, what's your business model for this salon and everything. Like I said, Portia ain't got shit planned out, and I'm like, how you want to come to a business meeting about opening up some shit and you don't have no type of presentation, you don't have no ideas for real on what you really want to do? Like, anyways, so she's sitting up here saying how she would like to have it open within 3 months. And the real estate agent is like, that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be more like 9 months and everything. And, Lauren is telling her, well, you're going to have to sit like in the office and everything. And Portia is like, no, that's what I'm hiring people for. And, Lauren is like, well, I mean, that's pretty much what I do now. You know what I'm saying? And Portia, she was kind of snappy a little bit with Lauren talking about okay, and you'll continue to do that. And Portia is like, I'm the owner of the salon. And so, the guys, they leave, and they gonna get back with Portia and Lauren when they have like their shit together, pretty much. So Lauren, she says how she's annoyed that Portia was saying how it's just her company when it's supposed to be their company. And she's like, I do everything. And Portia is like, don't sit up here and act like as if I don't be looking out for you, and like I don't do for you and this, that, and the third. And Lauren is like, I mean, I get paid like pretty much the family discount, like the sister discount. Like, I'm not getting paid as much as I would get paid somewhere else. Like, what are you talking about? So, Portia has said something, and Lauren is like, I mean, girl, you getting 85% of the profits. And I'm like, so y'all supposed to be in business together, and she getting 85%. I said, oh yeah, this sound like a motherfucking ripoff. Like, Yeah, sound like a ripoff, you know. And Portia is like, okay, but I'm bringing you with me, and you know, Portia is like, are you putting money into the company and this, that, and the third? And Lauren is like, no, but I'm putting my time into it, and you know, Portia is like, I'm putting my back on the line, and Lauren is like, okay, and I'm putting my life on the line, and you know, Portia is like, okay, well, you don't have to do that anymore, whatever, this, that, and the third, and you know, Lauren is like, fine, I'll just focus on the salon and I won't do nothing else for you and blase blase. And Lauren is like, me and my daughter will just be out on the street and everything. And then Portia was like, I mean, well, do what you gotta do. And I was just like, well, damn. Like, I mean, she could have at least been like, no, Lauren, I ain't mean it like that, you know, da da da. When, you know, Lauren had said that, but she was just like, okay, well, do what you gotta do. Like, child, please. I was just like, whew, that Portia, yeah. Anyway, so then we get Nene and Cynthia, and we actually had an earlier scene with Nene, but it wasn't really much, you know, in that scene. It was just her and Greg, and you know their son Brent, and him growing up, and all this other stuff. So we have Nene and Cynthia, and Greg is not feeling, you know, he's not feeling well. He went to the hospital, and you know he was having chest pains, and Greg just be like really paranoid about having heart issues because his dad had heart issues, and you know Cynthia, she's just asking questions like, you know, what did it feel like? You know, what's going on? And, you know, Nene is saying he felt like a tingling type of feeling. And, you know, they might do a minor surgery in the morning. And Cynthia's like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, surgery, you know, and, Cynthia is like that. Nene kind of seems like in denial about how serious this situation is, and I'm like, yeah, because Nene's just talking about this shit like, oh, this is going to be a breeze, you know. But you know, this I guess kind of how Nene deals with stuff. You guys know that Nene, she's not really a crier. You know what I mean? She doesn't, um, she copes with stuff differently from other people, you know what I mean? So then they talk about, you know, Cynthia and the guy Will, and you know, Nene talks about how she bumped into Cynthia and Will after their date and everything, and you know, Nene pretty much she likes him right now, and you know, and how he's nice to her friends, and how, you know, he, you know, picked her up to give her a hug because Nene was sitting down, and you know, Nene is telling, you know, Cynthia, you know, pretty much be a whore right now. She's like, be a whore for once in your life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta look for nothing serious. And you know, Nene is telling her to ask questions about who he's involved with. Do he got a booty call? Do he got this? And do he got that? And that pretty much was that with their conversation. Then we have Sheree, and Sheree is planning she's planning like a party for her mom. Her mom is turning 70 years old, and you know, her mom never had like a birthday party in all the years that she been living. I'm like, how you get to be 70 and nobody ever threw you a birthday party before then? But you know, anyways, the theme of the party is going to be 70s theme since her mom is turning 70, and I thought that was really cute. And you know, like I said, it's hours before the party, and the party planner isn't there. And Sheree calls her, and then she says, you know, she's on her way and everything. And then next thing you know, the planner is texting Sheree, talking about there seems like there's some tension and everything, and you know, it's not good for my business or something like that she was saying. So I would not be in attendance, but you know, here's the address to where you could pick the stuff up at. And Sheree is pissed off, and rightfully so, because it's like, you're gonna text somebody to tell them that you can't do it no more, and you're running a business, you text somebody versus calling them. You know what I mean? And for you to do that shit at the very last minute, like, yeah, Sheree had a right to be pissed off, and she called, you know, the girl's phone up, And I think I guess it went to like voicemail or something because Sheree, was cussing her out and this, that, and the third, and she was pissed off. And like I said, I don't blame her because I would have been pissed off too. I probably would have been ready to fight somebody, do that to my mama, shit. But anyway, so in the meantime, Kenya and Cynthia, um, Cynthia meets up with Kenya at Kenya's house, and they're in their 70s gear. They're waiting to go, and Cynthia starts talking about Will, and Kenya tells her to be careful because he's Mr. Smooth Pants, and he might smooth your pants off of you. And Cynthia was saying, well, how long, should it be before I ask him? Is he talking to other people or whatever? And, Kenya's like, don't ask him. Just assume. Assume, okay? And she was like, just be careful and don't get yourself too involved, because you know how you is and everything. And, Cynthia's trying to convince her she a player now. She a PIMP at this point. And, I thought that was kind of cute, but anyway, so then Nene shows up, and they're walking through Kenya's house. Well, Nene is walking through Kenya's house, and she sees some men's clothes in the closet, and she's like, "Oh, okay, you got some men's clothes in the closet with the tags still on them." I said, "Motherfucking Nene, that fucking shade! Oh my god!" But anyways, then we're at the birthday party. Everybody is arriving, and I think everybody looked good for the most part. Mama Thelma, Sheree's mom, comes through, and Nene is saying how Greg pretty much wanted her to have fun. That's why she wasn't at the hospital with him. And it just seemed like everybody was having a good time. Then it's the next day, and Nene is on the way to the hospital, and Greg calls her, and he talks about how they changed the surgery to 11:20, and it was supposed to be at noon, and Nene is trying to make it as fast as she can to the hospital. And Greg's heart rate is low, so they're trying to see if it's like some type of blockage or something like that. And I felt so sad for Greg because I have always liked Greg for the most part on this show. And he sounded really scared talking to her, and he wished that she was there at that moment. And he couldn't talk no more because I guess they was about to prepare him for the surgery and everything. So she finally gets to the hospital, but she had to wait into the waiting room, and she of course was worried and everything because that's her husband. They've been together for all these years, and if I was in the same position, I would be worried and stressed out too. So yeah, that pretty much was the episode, y'all. Like I said, this shit just boring. Like, I don't know. It's boring, y'all. Like, if we on episode 3, yeah, they gonna have to do Bravo, Andy, whoever, y'all gonna have to do something because like people just it's not interesting. But anyways, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I will see y'all in the next video.